Unit 3, Formative 2, Day 1, Graphing Linear Inequalities. Now, we've graphed inequalities before. For example, we've graphed if we had x is greater than 3. We've drawn a number line. And then put a circle, and it's open because it's not equal to, and greater than is to the right. Okay, now the difference is we have a linear inequality, so that means there's going to be x's and y's, and it's going to be on our xy axis. Okay, but the same thing, there's shading involved. Okay, and we have a solid line or a dashed line. Let's take a look at a problem. First one's in standard form. We know how to graph in standard form by finding the x and y intercepts. Now, if we noticed, first of all, we have a greater than or equal to. Now, on a line, we can't draw a circle and shade it in or leave it open. So when we're graphing linear inequalities, okay, if we have greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it is going to be a solid line. Move this down. Okay. If we have greater than or less than, meaning it's not equal to, we're going to have what we call a dashed line. That means the line's not included. So on this one, we're going to have a solid line. Now we're going to graph using our x and y intercepts, and this is stuff we've done. So to find my x-intercept, okay, I'm going to make y 0. Okay, we know that cancels. So if 2x is greater than or equal to 6, divide by 2, and x is greater than or equal to 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put my x-intercept is 3. Now don't worry about the greater than. Yep. Now let's go ahead and find the y-intercept. So to find the y-intercept, I'm going to make x 0. Okay, so that goes away. Now we have negative 3y is greater than or equal to 6. Divide by negative 3. Now remember, when you're dividing by a negative, it changes to a less than. So this would be negative 2. So my y-intercept is negative 2. Now, we know this is, we're going to connect our dots. Now, again, I said that this is going to be a solid line because we have the or equal to. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now make sure your line, you can't have little short lines on this type of graph. You need to make sure your graph, your line goes from one side of the graph to the other. Okay. Now here, we need to know what side to shade on. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in 0, 0. So I'm going to go back to this point 0, 0 here. Okay, and I'm going to plug this into the equation and see if it's true or false. If it's true, then that means I'm going to shade this side. If it's false, 0, 0 is a false statement, I'm going to shade the opposite side. Okay. 0, 0 always works as long as the line does not go through 0, 0. Okay, so this line does not go through 0, 0, so I'm going to plug in 0, 0. So not much room here. So I have 2, x is 0, minus 3, y is 0, greater than or equal to 6. Okay. Now that's 0 and that's 0. So I end up with 0 is greater than or equal to 6. Is that a true or a false statement? Okay. That is a false statement. Okay. So 0, 0 is here, and it's a false statement. So that means this side is not true. Okay, this side is false. That means I'm going to shade the other side. Okay, and you don't need to shade it completely in, just as long as I know which side's the answer. Let's do another problem. Yeah, same thing. It's in standard form, so I'm going to use my x and y intercepts to graph. First thing, I'm going to make y 0. Okay, so we got negative 4x is greater than 12. Divide by negative 4, so x is less than negative 3. So x is negative 3. Oops, let me change colors. Okay, now I'm going to plug in the other one. So we have negative 4 times 0 plus 3y is greater than 12. Goes away, divide by 3. y is greater than 4. So my y-intercept is 4. Okay. Now this one is greater than, it's not equal to. Okay, so this is going to be a dashed line. Again, make sure your line goes across your graph. Now I need to know which side I shade. 0, 0 is not part of the line, so I can plug in 0, 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So we have negative 4 times 0 minus 3 times 0 is greater than 12. That's all 0. Is 0 greater than 12? That is a false statement. Okay, that means that this side is false. So we're going to shade the other side. There's your answer. This is in slope-intercept form, but we don't need to do anything. We don't need to plug in zeros or anything like that. Again, just like last test, you have to recognize, am I using x and y intercepts or slope-intercept? On this one, we know that our slope is 2/3, and my y-intercept, which is the b, is 4. Remember, when you graph, you always graph with your b. So my y-intercept is 4, and my slope is 2/3. So I'm going to go up 2/3. Now I can't do another point. I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite. So I'm going to go down 2 to the left 3. And we notice that this does not have an or equal to. This is going to be a dashed line. Now I need to know which side I shade. My line does not go through 0, 0, so I'm going to pick 0, 0 to plug in. Now if your line goes through 0, 0, just real fast, if my line goes through 0, 0 here, I can't pick it. Just pick another point that's not on the line. So I could pick 1, 1. I could pick 0, 1. Okay, you're just going to plug those numbers in, but always pick 0, 0 if the line doesn't go through there. Get rid of that. All right, let's go ahead and plug in 0. So if 0 is greater than 2/3 times 0 plus 4. That goes away, and I end up with 0 is greater than 4. True or false? That's false. Okay, so this is false, so do not shade this side. I'm going to shade the other side. And there's your answer. Same, this one is missing the y. So we know that when it's missing the y, it will not cross my y-axis. That means it has to be parallel. So x is -3, so I'm going to put a line at negative, or point at -3. I need to draw a line that won't cross my y-axis, so it's a vertical line. Okay. It does not have an or equal to, so this is going to be a dashed line. Now, this one says x is less than -3. At this one, you don't need to pick a point. You can if you want. We can pick 0. Okay, here. If I plug in 0, is 0 less than -3? That's false, so you're going to shade the other side. This one is a horizontal line. We know it's missing the x, so it's not going to cross this. It's going to be parallel. Okay, and we have y is 4. This has an or equal to, so this is going to be a solid line. Oops. All right, and let's pick a point. Again, 0, 0 is not on there, so I'm going to go ahead and plug a 0 in for my y. Is 0 greater than or equal to 4? This is false. So I'm going to shade the other side. That's it. You guys have a great day.